Amidst the Gumball Guardians relaxing and blowing bubbles, Finn learns how boomerangs work and accidentally horrifically disfigures Princess Bubblegum. Princess Bubblegum blames this on the Duke of Nuts, which she holds a grudge against. And Finn is of course racked with guilt, and by this point in the episode I think we can all know where the story is going and what the moral is likely to be. Adventure Time sometimes subverts its morals at least a little bit, or has some kind of funny twist with them. This one not really. Let's get this straight out of the way. The moral here is take responsibility for your actions so somebody innocent doesn't get hurt. And if your friends are truly your friends, they'll probably forgive you for whatever accidental thing you caused to happen. Now, the thing that's really fun about this episode, though, is Princess Bubblegum. Alright, this episode, it throws away her sweet, nice, calm demeanor completely. And this is the first instance that we get glances of the raving, stubborn, maniacal Princess Bubblegum. It's great. Like, she was such a boring character in Season 1 for the most part, because we have not yet experienced her building an empire, being a tyrant, monitoring all her citizens, basically being the NSA. We haven't gotten to any of that yet. We haven't gotten to her control freak aspects. We haven't really established much. But this episode kind of sets the groundwork by reducing Bubblegum to her most insanity-ridden self, as she is transformed into this green monstrosity. Now, can we discuss Princess Bubblegum's room for a little bit, though? Okay, so she has a baby picture of herself, which would normally make sense, except as of Season 5, we now know she's ancient. She's like hundreds, and not thousands of years old. So when exactly was she a baby? I guess we can assume there was another time where there was an accident and she lost body mass and she reverted to being a baby, and maybe this is where the picture was taken. Or maybe it's an ancient picture that held up really well. It could just be one of these things where the creators have not yet developed the backstory, and these are little shreds of evidence that that's probably the case. A picture of Lady Rainicorn in the room? Yeah, that makes sense. That's logical. But here we have Emerald Princess, and if Princess Bubblegum has a picture of Emerald Princess, we can assume they're maybe close friends, except that they never hang out with each other at all. So I don't know what the deal with that is. That's a little bit awkward. Maybe they were supposed to be closer friends, and the story writers never really went that way. A pic of Finn doing a dumb face. Yeah, that one makes sense, I guess. At this point, Bubblegum and Finn are pretty close already. Okay, now here is where I get confused. We have what appears to be her family. There's this orange-haired person and this purple-haired elderly person. Could this be Bubblegum's sister? Could this purple-haired person be her mother or grandmother? Could the orange-haired person be her mother? I have no idea. If anyone wants to let me know, I honestly have no idea what was up with these. Are these characters just completely scrapped for the future and never ever hinted at again? I know there's a game where I think we kind of explore the past of Bubblegum's parents. I never played this game, and I heard the game is not canonical anyway, so who cares? But I have no idea what's up with these photos. Can anyone elucidate me as to what the deal is? I would love to know. Post a comment if you have any idea. And Princess Bubblegum has some other random pictures on her walls of her room. That's some taste in art there, Peeble. A raindrop by itself. Okay, not gonna criticize your postmodern art tastes, I guess. And this here, look at this. What, 666? The mark of the beast. This is evidence that Peeble is evil. Pure evil incarnate. No, I think these are actually just like really poorly drawn lollipops. It took me like 20 seconds of looking at these things to figure out what they were supposed to be. So yes, back to the plot of the episode. What's interesting is that Finn feels guilty and nearly confesses to Peebles, but Jake is the one who, again, shows his negative influence. He is not always a good guardian figure to Finn, because here he convinces Finn that the Duke is probably evil, and they should just catch him, and blame it all on him, even though Finn is the one who disfigured Bubblegum by accident. So, I think it's nice to keep these little touches of Jake being kind of a dick, really. I mean, Jake, you give really bad advice sometimes. And so we head off to the Nut Kingdom, or I don't think there's a king there, but maybe Nut Territory, Nut Sovereign Nation? I don't know what this is, but landscape is just totally nutty. Literally. And in the Duke of Nuts' castle, we find the Duchess of Nuts, who... well... Let's just skip talking about her, okay?
Listen! Listen!
Whoa! So eventually, Finn and Jake meet the Duke of Nuts proper, and he hands them chrysanthemum crowns, which the chrysanthemum flower symbolizes innocence, purity, loyal love, patience. Yep, all these things that the Duke of Nuts basically is. Now, in Season 1, I already talked about multiple characters I wish would make a comeback, or at least a cameo appearance in a future episode. Duke of Nuts, not so much. I don't dislike him. I like him a little bit, but he's not like... he doesn't stand out enough for me to really gush over wanting him to make a return. Now, he does have some pretty good quotes about life.
People make mistakes. It's all part of growing up, and you never really stop growing.
But overall, he's still a tad boring. He's a proper nice guy, but he has serious self-esteem issues, and these self-esteem issues make him rather be a thief than ask for the help that he so desperately needs. Yeah, it's a little interesting, but he's just not quirky enough. He's just not up to snuff to Adventure Time's normal caliber of character awesomeness. So, if the Duke never returns, it's no sweat off my back, really. To save the Duke, Finn and Jake try to act out one of the worst stick-ups ever. And it's fantastic. Kudos, guys. That level of coordination and acting cannot be surpassed. I love this scene. It's just ridiculous. Of course, Princess Bubblegum sees through it, because, duh, you have to be a complete moron not to, and the Duke is almost handcuffed by some of the most bling-inducing handcuffs ever. I mean, look at those golden things. Holy crap! Peppermint Butler, where'd you even get those things? Like solid gold handcuffs here. Wow! Of course, this is where Finn comes clean, and he is forgiven. Just look at that face. And after the moral of the story concludes, we see again an instance of just what a stubborn character Peeble is.
Yeah, I don't believe a word from him.
She does not change her mind easily, and once she decides something that she thinks is right, it is extremely hard to convince her otherwise. And this is something that is elaborated on much more in the later episodes, and especially in the later seasons, as her character continues to evolve, and we see more of what she is truly like. But I think this episode does a great job of laying out the groundwork of all these background traits that Peeble does possess, besides just being really sweet on the outside and really smart, which up till this episode is all we really had about her to go on. So before we go, because these mosquitoes are just like eating the hell out of me, I'm like sugar to them. At this meeting that Finn and Jake replace Bubblegum, we see what seems to be Turtle Princess's dad. That's pretty cool, because we never see him again. We also see LSP's dad, so apparently, yeah, the Lumpy Space Princess, her family is royalty after all, even if their house does not resemble royalty, and even if LSP's royalty is questionable. Yeah, LSP's dad is there. I think that establishes the lore. I was questioning it in the Lumpy Space vlog I did. I guess I can disregard what I said there. Of course, this isn't the real Turtle King.
Remember me, Jake?
No.